Class 6, Science, Chapter 11, Light, Shadows and Reflections. Animated Science. Introduction. Light. Its properties and sources. Light is a kind of energy that can move in waves, and it is made up of a flow of small particles of energy called photons. Properties. The properties of light are: light travels in straight lines. A ray of light travels very fast. The speed of light equals 300,000 kilometers per second. Nothing else travels faster than light, not even sound. At this speed, it can go around the world 8 times in a second. For example, thunder and lightning start at the same time, but we can see lightning first. Sources. The sources of light are: there are two sources of light, that is, natural sources and man-made. The sun is the natural source of light on earth. The torch, candle, electric bulbs, incandescent bulbs are some of the man-made sources of light. Types of objects: luminous and non-luminous objects. We see things because they create light or reflect light into our eyes. This is the only way we get to see things. Depending on their tendency to create or reflect light, objects are classified into two types. Luminous objects are the ones that create light. For example, sun, torch, light bulb, matchsticks, etc. Non-luminous objects are the ones that reflect light. For example, wood, rubber, paper, moon, etc. Transparent, translucent, opaque. Transparent objects, objects that allow light to pass through them, are called transparent objects. We can see clearly through them. For example, air and glass. Translucent objects. Objects which allow light to partially pass through them are called translucent objects. We can partially see through them. For example, plastic wrap. Opaque objects. Objects which do not allow light to pass through them at all are called opaque objects. We cannot see through them at all. For example, wood and brick. Shadows. Shadows are places where light is blocked by opaque objects. Light rays travel in straight lines, radiating out from the light source. If rays are blocked by an opaque object, a shadow forms where the light cannot reach. If the light source is moved closer to the object, more light is blocked and a larger shadow is formed. Shadows. For example, sunlight causing shadows. In the early morning and late night, when the sun is lower on the horizon, shadows appear to be longer, because the line from the sun to the object to the ground is flatter, casting a longer shadow. Around noon, when the sun is almost directly overhead, there is almost no sunlight being blocked from hitting the ground, thus casting a very small shadow. How does sunlight cause shadows? As shown in the figure, the position of the sun affects the position and length of the shadows created. Mirrors and reflection. Reflection. When we look into the mirror, we see our image in the mirror. This is actually our reflection in the mirror. When a ray of light hits a smooth and shiny surface of the mirror, it changes direction. That is, it is reflected back. The angle at which light is reflected from a surface is equal to the angle at which light strikes the surface. In other words, light gets reflected from a surface at the same angle it hits it. Reflection. Image in a mirror has the sides reversed. That is, the left side of the object will appear as the right side of the mirror image. Uses of mirrors. Uses of plane mirrors are: plane mirrors have many uses apart from the obvious one of simply to look at. Mirrors are used in periscopes. Periscopes are used in submarines so that the captain can see what's above him, without having to bring his ship to the surface of the water. Periscopes are also used by military soldiers to spy around corners. Kaleidoscopes. Kaleidoscopes are being used in hospitals as an effective soothing color therapy for patients. Solar cooker. Solar cookers are used for cooking. Mirrors are also used in telescopes, in vehicles as rear-view mirrors, in an overhead projector, an SLR camera. Car wing mirrors. In microscopes, and as reflecting number plates, to mention only some. Kaleidoscopes are interesting. They are made with two mirrors at an angle to each other. The smaller the angle, the more images there are.